Yes, 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 yes. Turn this down. What's going on, man? Yeah, it's a lot of back in the boxes, like my man said there. This is Yahoo this morning, or yesterday morning. No, what is it?
It's a key revenue stream.
No, that's not it. Give me just a second. I had this pulled up. Did I lose it? Oh, that sucks. We lost it. Man. Let me see if I can get it back here real quick. I had this video. I was going to play it for you. Give me just a second. I had sound issues earlier. History. I just found this video just a couple minutes ago. ERX is coming down. Yeah, that's basically what I was gonna play for you, man, and I lost the damn video. Here it is. There it is.
And let's get right to the three things you need to know as the clock hits 9 a.m. Let's take a look at futures sliding today after another tough session on Wall Street yesterday. Investors fretting that the new year might bring a recession. We've got the gloomy outlook ahead.
And optimism out of China, the country dropping many of its quarantine and testing requirements despite COVID-19.
Optimism out of China.
Cases still continuing to rise. We've got the latest on that front as well.
It's even darker before the dawn. More gloom and doom for 2023. Morgan Stanley economist Seth Carpenter joins us with his outlook for what is expected to be a tough year for the markets.
Tough year for the markets. It's gloomy. It's tough. It's already tough. It's gloomy and it's tough. Get this moved.
Begin today with our top story. Sentiment is low on Wall Street for another down day here, and after another down day, rather. The S&P 500, you saw the worst sell-off in a month.
Worst sell-off in a month.
The rally that followed Fed Chair Powell's comments.
So you see the setup there, right? It's all negative. It just goes on and on and on. And I do have a short position on the market right now. But we're seeing a lot of charts that don't look bad, man, to be honest. We're seeing a lot. I'm going to show you a lot of, the only thing that looks bad right now is oil. The only thing we're seeing is right now that really looks bad is oil. The S&P 500, we're at 395 on the SPY here. It is below the 20-day moving average. We've got a crossover that is bullish. We're underneath the 200. Technically, it's a sell signal. I'm sure other firms on Wall Street are echoing that sell signal. And that's what you saw over here. And these are just technicals. They don't have to follow through. I mean, they can. But everything seems pretty negative. But the reality is, underneath, we got things going down, man. Look at semiconductors today. So this is the SMH. This is the Van Eric's semiconductor. I use XOXL. This one's a little too expensive for me, $221. But inside of here, you're gonna have AMD stocks like that. I mean, that don't look negative to me. That looks like it wants to go up. So we'll see. You know, we're technically, if you follow the money flow, we got our stage one. We had our run up. You know, we built out this stage 3. But shit, it don't look like it wants to go down. I mean, the price is back above the 20. So I'm just going to assume if I go look at Intel, if I go look at AMD, so let's look at Intel here. Intel is selling off a little bit. Let's look at AMD. AMD's coming down too. Somebody's ripping. Who's ripping on the semiconductor side? For arms dealer, what a trade. Yeah. We let loose the merchant of death. Merchant of death, which makes me think about shipping stocks. Let's check in on Zim. And we're up 4%. Still keeps marching down. Still keeps paying a dividend. The dividend is stupid. And this is my second or third one. And yet price goes lower. And they keep making money. So the reason the stock has come down is people have a negative outlook on it. And if we look at oil, that was the big winner last year. We're seeing oil is in a steady downtrend right now. And we talked about that. Price is below the 5-day moving average. This is USO. This is an index. This is a fund that trades oil. So the commodity of oil itself is coming down, which means that at the gas station, the price should come down eventually. So we're seeing oil come in. And if we go look at oil stocks, XLE, what are we seeing? They're selling off. You remember there was a disconnect, and I was talking about that. If we look in, I talked about that on lives here, in the newsletter, in various tweets and twerps and whatever. I could pin something down. It's like, hey, oil stocks look great. Oil itself looks like shit, technically. Oil looks to be going down, and yet oil stocks were doing good. Now we're seeing catch up where oil stocks are following the commodity back down. We've seen big moves down in Exxon. I wouldn't say giant. 112 to 103. I mean, that seems fair. It had run up. I mean, if you look at this here, it's like, well, we kind of knew this was going to happen, right? Price got overextended. And if we draw the money flow, we're expected to go sideways and then what? Come down, man. And then where's it probably going to come? Probably right around where it did before. Right around in there. And I assume if it stopped there and if it stopped there and stopped there before, shit, it'll probably stop there again. And that's how they come up with this thing called support. And it's a whole all chapters and hundreds, if not thousands of books on what support is. Matter of fact, I got one in my book. And, we'll see if that holds up. Sometimes these are self-fulfilling prophecies. And if that holds up, let's get rid of that. What happens? I mean, that sometimes I wonder if some of this isn't self-fulfilling. But that makes the money flow pattern, right? And so I don't know how far down it's going to go, but I know right now oil's bearish. Price is below the 5-day. The 5 days below the 10. The 10's below the 20. Everything's pointing down. Price is coming down. And until this goes extreme, I anticipate that's just a corrective move. It's just going to pull back. And we expect that. And, you could short that, depending on how you want to play it. Ford was one that I was talking about. Looked like to me it was getting ready to roll over, but I mean, it's just hanging on there like it doesn't want to fall. See it holding. And we've got stuff on the other side, like I've been saying, Lyft. This is my highest conviction right now. Look at this. It's back in the box, man. I don't know where the price of Lyft will go, man. I'm just telling you, this is something that I'm taking a shot at. I think if you go read on this business, you can go get the investors book on this. I think the price has been, I think a recession has been baked into this stock. I don't know that, maybe not. Maybe it goes to $2. I don't know. I do know that Morningstar thinks it's worth $50 and it's 10. So maybe they're wrong. Maybe it's only worth 35. And maybe it's really down because people baked in a massive recession. Maybe that recession happens. Maybe it doesn't. But I do know this. The stock market reacts first. And then, I've seen people talking about BX. A lot of redemptions. People are pulling their money out of their REIT. And they were kind of making it sound like BX had done something wrong. I'm listening. I'm actually I'm trying to think of his channel and say, the only thing they did wrong, man, was make money. Like they went and bought up property. Why would that be a bad idea? And I'm reading the comments on this YouTube channel and they're like saying as if they were like stupid or did something wrong. And I'm like, you realize they own the most assets in the world, dipshit. And you're a guy, come on. And the one people are redeeming money out of on BX, it's because it's been one of the best performing ones in the market. So they want to take their money and run. I heard a lot of those redemptions are coming out of China. I don't know if that matters, but we'll see. So that's been a way on the stock. It's been in a downtrend. Look, I mean, this is from reporting earnings. They're at 107. Now it's 79. That's a big ass fall, dude, for a major corporation. This is not Bitcoin. This is BX. They have $950 billion under assets. And a lot of this drag here, one is the S&P's got a little drag on it, but two, it's in finance services too. You know, they're in a fund. And if you go look at the XLF, which is banking, we're getting a sell signal. See it? And sometimes you might train your eye. You can only see upside. Like, oh, it's going up, man. Look, it's stopping. It's going up. Maybe. But we do got a sell signal. And I really don't trust this until this goes extreme. You get what I'm saying? Like that. When I get that, it makes me feel like, you know, let's start trying to buy these bottoms. Because we're getting it, you know, it's moved down to an extreme level. Anything less than that is subject for me. As far as trying to buy it up on the long side. See, I'm greedy. In other words, I don't want to pay 34, man. I'd rather pay 33, and this thing does a normal money flow pattern. Like, I'd rather it come in. So if I'm watching them, I really like some of them, you know, and if it runs without me, okay, well, run without me, man. Run. And maybe I owe you a case of beers. My life has changed since discovering. All right, man, that's cool. So the finance sector is pulling back. We don't know how far yet. So as a buyer, absolutely could be a stage one. But price is below the 5. These just crossed, and this is just turning down. And that's exactly what this looks like. You know, and the overall market, the SPY now is underneath the 20-day moving average. So I take all that in and I say, well, I assume we're going to come in some. But we're getting mixed signals, like you said. So this was this morning on Lyft. And this is today on Lyft. So I put this out as my highest conviction. I texted it, I posted it, I tweeted, I wrote it. I think I got a tattoo of it and said, this is a 3 to 5x right here, Lyft. I don't know when. I just think it is. So I've been in the daily accumulation phase. All right, man. Still got coffee cups. I got the black ones, the 10 Pillars of Success cups. So I like Lyft here. I'm going to be honest. A lot of the rest of the market, we're getting these weird signals. Oil selling off, financials are selling off. We got oil selling off. So, you know, a good section of the S&P, let's dig a little deeper, man. Let's pull it up. Let's go to the spiders. These are the 11 sectors of the S&P 500. So let's take it down a little bit. Let's open the hood up. I'll tell you what they are. Don't worry about it. This is the IAK. iShares U.S. Insurance ETF. Chubb. You know, all the people that sell insurance, man. That's these guys, IAK. Now, we could break this down and we could get the top 10 stocks inside of there. I don't know. I don't even know these insurance. They all have weird names. All these insurance companies. This is what this is. Looks like a stage 3. It hit the RSI. Starting to roll over. So what you're seeing is you're starting to see this side of it hasn't broke down below the 20 yet, but that's what you're seeing. So that's, you know, let's go to the next one. The Spider S&P Home Builder ETF. Lennars. These are home builders. Notice this looks a lot like semiconductors. They're moving up. It's breaking out today. It's not going down below its 20. It's going above its 20. So we got housing stocks pushing up. Well, that's kind of weird. So we got oil selling off and housing going up. I thought housing was in the dumps, man. Isn't that what they were saying?
On smaller interest rate hikes, oil also hit its lowest level since last December, with WTI erasing all of this year's gains. And it just continues to come out, not just in the sentiment and how the markets are reacting, but also what they're reacting to. And we've got even more commentary from CEOs, and some of that still echoes what we had heard on earnings calls. We remember just a month back, or at least at this point, about 2 months ago, where Jamie.
So they're saying oil's given back a lot of its gains, right? But we know where we were trimming, right? So if we look at the last trade, I mean, where were we taking it off? Right here, man. You didn't need Yahoo Finance. You didn't need me either. There's your break. There's your breakout. There's your 3. What are we in now? This is a 4. Was that the lowest low? Nope, next day. Is that the lowest low? No, next day. What about today? Yeah, today's the lowest low. So I would put a little line here. I'd say that's the lowest low. But is it? Has it gone extreme? Nope. So I'm looking for it to go extreme, then set up. It ain't there yet. So you see how I would be looking at it from the long side, meaning I need to let this stage 4 complete itself. If I'm a short seller, whoop, flip that. That's a price target. Not an entry zone, a target. Right? And we could both be right. Meaning, I could have rode the up and got out, and you're trying to ride the down, and then when you go to get out, I get in. They say, well, it's a zero-sum game. Oh, I guess. But it ain't zero-sum from me to you. Shit, you could have sold me these, man. And then I rode them up. Then I sold them to you. Right? You leaned them to a short seller who wrote them down. You got the dividend. So, the game is, there's a lot going on inside of any one move. And it's like, what is your perspective, man? Where's my buddy Matt? I asked him, I said, man, what range are you buying on? Let me show you this chart. Yeah, so LABD. Still about a lot of action. I'm looking at this. What do you mean a lot of action? It ain't done shit. Right? But I'm looking at a daily. Remember we talked about the money flows fractal, right? What do we say? A fractal is a never-ending pattern. Fractals are infinitely complex patterns that are self-similar across different scales, by the way, driven by recursion, right? By repeating a simple process over and over again in an ongoing feedback loop. Well, he says, well, man, I'm on the 1 minute, man. Oh, shit. So do we see breakouts on the 1 minute? Yeah, look at that. Do we see stage 3s? Do we see them? Yeah. The last one, look at that stage. Starts to come down. And look, breaks out, runs again. And then look, man, that fast hits the RSI, which is what? Telling you that it's probably done going up, man. That's probably the top. So now I can't emotionally do this on a 1 minute like this. Right? And you're not going to take every one of them. Remember what I said? I don't trust that. That didn't come down enough. I'm not buying that. This didn't come down enough. So if I'm trading, depending on, chart's going to dictate. But I'm trying to trade patterns. And so I like it to complete a pattern to go into the next pattern, ideally. I mean, in a perfect trade world, right? Meaning I want to see it bottom out. I want to see that bottoming process before I buy this breakout here. So anyway, that's 1 minute. That's probably a little extreme. If you're a psycho like Matt, you can do that. But when I go to look at it, I'm like, this thing ain't done shit all day, man. It went a little bit up, a little bit down, and there it is. Fractal pattern, like what we're looking at different. And even on this, you're going to see see how it moves. Even in this, look at this. They're ever so tiny. Just kind of look at the way price moves. Down and then up, and then over, and then down, and then up, and then over, and then down, and then up, and then over, and down, and then up, and then down. And see it? These aren't perfect, but you get what I'm saying. So you're seeing this little flow of price. And then that what? See that big sideways? So as this thing was bottoming, which is what it did after this big down move, it just basically built out this giant stage this is in, right? But inside of that, because price is fractal, shit, the guy might drop it. He might go say, man, let me look at here's another example. UNG. I got knocked out of UNG. But if we look at UNG on a 1 hour, you were getting back in, right? Your alignments were coming together. So as I trade patterns, there's more to it than just the pattern, but you're looking for the setup, man. If I'm playing pool, I'm trying to set my balls up. If I play poker, I'm looking for the setup. If I play blackjack, I'm looking for the double down. Like I'm looking for winning patterns. And every pattern's not a winner. It's part of game theory too, but that's what I'm trying to do. For me as an investor, it gets a lot simpler because I don't have to be perfect. And so as an investor, I've been able to, at least the way I view price is I see it as volatility is the only way you can see it. It's the only way it works, man. Any other way just doesn't work. You just have to see the recessions. Like if we do go into a recession, you just have to see that as a positive. You have to, and you have to add to your positions, and you have to hold your stocks, and you have to build them out. And if you're an index-only investor, that's when you should really kick it in, man. You want to buy shit when other people don't, and that is really, really, really difficult to do. And the way I've trained myself to do this is I'm always watching the downs. So right now with oil, it's like, wow, okay, this is cool, because all we've had is ups. It's all we've had, man. And that's good for me. But let's say you just got in the stock market 3 weeks ago. No, be for real. You're 23, you got low money, and you read the book by T. Boone Pickens. And you're like, wow, he got rich trading oil stocks. And it's like, yeah. So you want to buy some oil stocks, but Exxon's way the fuck up here. You're like, man, look at this. And you go home to your dad, and you're like, Dad, you didn't notice 2 years ago Exxon is like $28? Yeah, man, it's a recession, lot of shit going on. You don't understand. Fucking mom was driving me crazy. We had that shit down at the fuck. You remember when we were it's that. And people don't notice oil. So, but if you're a young man who wants to get an oil position, I mean, you do want to own oil stocks, right? You let this come in. Now you're stalking it for that. So for me, it's that. I'm constantly watching that slide on in. And as it slides in, I'm trying to get these corners. Once it starts to run, yeah, twiddle diddle. I mean, it's cool, but it's unrealistic to expect it's just going to keep going. And then at some point, you got to make some decisions about it. And some people will fret more over winners and fuck it up than losers. Meaning the very fact that a stock went up 200 or 300% makes them sell it. I got to sell this. Why? It went up 300%. Okay. What if it's going to go up 1,000? Yeah, but I'm up 300. And so they get in this, what do you do? When was a good time to sell your Amazon? Perfect vision. So keep that in mind. So as Exxon, remember we were talking about this, ConocoPhillips was majorly overvalued. Why do you think this is happening today? This doesn't have shit to do with Russia or whatever. It might to them, but we talked about this. Morningstar told you this, for $200 a year, you could have learned this. You didn't need to be an oil analyst. You just need to have the balls to put money in your account and click the button. That's all most of you need, a pair of balls. So if you come over here, COP's overvalued by 20%. It's overvalued. It's literally overvalued. It's overvalued. Overvalued means it's trading 20% higher than it's actually worth. You want to buy that? Nope. Matter of fact, Money Flow told you exactly where to sell it too, man. We've been trimming it. And I trimmed on the last ones and I trimmed on this ones. So now what? Let it come down. How far is it going to go? Some people, man, dude, only reason, man, all they got to do is all they got to do is have guts. Man, it's all you got to do. That's what a lot of this is, just having guts, man. I remember when I was buying Delta and they were like, Warren Buffett's selling it. The Oracle of Omaha. And I'm like, yeah. Hey, money flow gang, buy Delta. I mean, do we know more than him? No. I would just come over here and I'd type this in, Delta. And I would look and it would come back and it would be like, we believe Delta is significantly undervalued. Huh. Warren Buffett's selling it though. That's interesting. So as I would watch it, I would just watch the money flow, man. So I want to pick some up. Now I thought we were about to run and we started to, and then now we're headed back down. So would I buy this? Nope. It's going into a stage 4 decline right here. Like, don't even fight this. Get in flow. You don't fight this. You get in flow, man. Meaning in flow, you're like, okay, you're drawing it out. In flow is what? It's probably coming down into here. In flow is I have control. I've turned chaos into order, meaning I fully anticipate if this comes down, I'm going to get a shot at about 30. That don't have anything to do with this price target right now. Because if the market doesn't follow fucking logic, it follows fear and greed. And as you sit and everything is this.
Diamond of JP Morgan had said on their earnings call that this is an environment that is odd. You've got consumer spending that is still very strong, and that was showing up in their numbers. However, you're still seeing this predictability of a recession, and how mild that recession is what the market continues to latch onto and what that looks like. And he's saying that this is probably going to happen, or at least back then said it may happen in the first quarter of next year.
All right, well, I ain't waiting till the first quarter. The smartest banker on planet Earth says we're going into recession. If I run a Japanese hedge fund, or if I run a mutual fund, or if I run an investment firm where the 10,000 people that have invested with me are sending me an email saying, hey, Jamie Dimon says we're going in the ring. What are you doing? And they're like, well, we're raising capital right now to offset the, right? So they're going to start doing that kind of shit. And it may not even make sense. They will just be like, well, we need to raise $1 billion. Hit Delta. And one big person could be dumping out of Delta, and that's why that stock's coming in. And you know why Warren Buffett sold Delta, by the way? I took a lot of criticism on that. Why would you buy a stock that the smartest man in the world sold? Good question. I don't know why he's selling, but I'm buying. My brother-in-law works there. Okay, I know a little bit about it. It's been in my family for a lot of years. I don't know how long, well, Buffett knows it. I don't know why he was doing what he was doing. You know why he did that, though? He was afraid the airlines might not get a bailout if the richest man in the world was a shareholder. He took one for the team, by the way. That was the only reason, or he would have been buying. And that's the pattern. So that's what we'll wait and see, man. So with that same concept, I was talking about a short on Ford. Here's the problem with shorting stocks that are undervalued. See, this is the problem. This is not an ideal short. Ford is significantly undervalued at 75%. Okay? I probably should have put this in my video. I own it as a buy and hold. Everyone knows that. But I was showing this this is how short selling works. You could just technically short sell. Meaning Ford was significantly undervalued right here too, guys. And then it was significantly undervalued right here too, guys. And then it was significantly undervalued right here too, guys. Now it's significantly undervalued right here too. That doesn't change the flow of price. So for me to own this stock, what is this? That's called opportunity. That's a stage 4 decline. This is taking order, chaos, and turning it into order. You're like, where do you buy, Gerald? Very fucking bottom. Right there at the apex, man. When that price stops, and it stops, and then you start watching the next candle. Now you have an anchor point. You just need 3 more days, and then you got a point of which you can say that is the bottom. And when that starts the process of this one, now I start accumulating. I have evidence that it stopped dropping. And I start accumulating based on what? If I'm an investor, it's based on this. And what if Buffett sells it? I don't know why he's selling, man. He might need money. Maybe he put all his money in FTX. Now he needs to get some cash. Like, it could be that simple. It could be Taco Tuesday. Hey, sell Roku. It's Taco Tuesday. And if some hedge fund hits it, bam, which triggers some momentum traders, bam, which triggers some this, and then bam, some news comes out of thing. Next thing you know, this bitch is down 14% in 1 week. All that is in real life, though, was just a stage one. And if I'm an investor, I'm like, man, it was a bad week last week. But as I'm watching, I'm looking at that RSI, and I'm like, where's this fit in my portfolio? Like right now, I'm trying to buy some retail, man. I'm trying to buy some retail, so we got some calls. So every day as I watch my thing, it's one of the things I do when I'm lying in bed. I don't want to hear kind of weird, perverted shit you do, but this is kind of things I do. So as I'm watching this, and I go, okay, this thing pays a nice dividend. How undervalued is, because I need some of this. I need some of this in my portfolio. I don't really have any. All I have is Walmart. So come over here and I start looking at Macy's, and that looks like shit. I'm going through different stores, and I go, well, I actually go to Kohl's. Let's see what does old Morningstar think. Holy sheep shit, 50%? That is huge. Lack a competitive edge. No moat Kohl's struggles to regain stability. Ooh, that doesn't sound good. So I can go read and see what he says. And I read through this. Wait, well, shit. A lot of times, as you read that, a lot of that bad news, yeah, no shit, bro. It's already in the stock. So as he's telling you over here now, this stuff, the reason it was over here and over here, you know what I mean? People already know this. Duh. And so as it struggles, look how long this is. That's August, October, November. So you see how when you first take in a position, well, I'm only getting opportunities, man. You know what I mean? So if I'm taking some over here, once it jumps, I'm done, right? Once it tries to jump, I'm done. You could have bought that one. Once it jumps, I'm done. And each time it's jumping, I'm not buying anymore, right? I'm waiting on these ones. And so what I have on that side then is time. Plus I'm getting paid to do it. Plus the thing I'm doing it in is significantly undervalued. And so if I'm wrong on this stage one, okay, I'll catch the next one. But I will get the next one. Now, once you've lined that up, man, and you have it going, different things, some shit's going to run up. And then you're like, cool, let me get some money. Let's pull up this real quick. I probably should get off, but I like it now. Now, look what's up. Look what's up with Campbell's. I got about a 5-year love affair here with Campbell's. 4-year. It's one of the first stocks I was teaching the money flow on social media. The first one I ever posted on, to be fair, was Campbell's Soup and Starbucks. Now look at Campbell's Soup. Now let's look at Starbucks real quick. Now I was been in Starbucks for a minute. Campbell's Soup I had just started buying. Now you notice what's up? What are they? Fair value. It's fair value. So if I go look, man, and I look at Starbucks, do I want to buy this? It's fair value. Now, Morningstar just lined up with the money flow. Because what did the money flow tell you? Well, RSI is over 70. You got a highest high. Several days, hold it, and price starts going sideways, right? So the money flow would have called that the 2, and this is the 3, and that's the RSI hitting extreme. Now, price could keep going, obviously. I'm just telling you this is how I would see it today. So to me, that's a take profit time, right? It's definitely not a buy signal to me. That means it's already run. Remember, the buy signal's down here. So if I'm in this, am I a buyer here? Hell no. I mean, who's buying here? These are the people buying fairly priced houses. Oh, it's worth $250. Cool, I'll give you $250. Oh, no. I need it for $180, bro. I need it for $112. Let's get it for $90. Can we get it back down here? So either it's this thing here, for me, I'm not committing new capital to overpay. Now I'll keep it. It's fair value. Pay me a dividend, float around. But I'm not committing new capital to a fair valued stock. Because I know what's going to happen. It's going to go the other way. Especially go into recession. Let's see. That's not trading though, right? Because inside of trading, you can have different things going on. Right? We could take this down if this thing's really running. Man, this thing has done nothing but go straight up. Shit, no matter what level I take it to, it's up. God bless. But this is, at the end of the day, when I'm buying Starbucks, it's undervalued by 50%, guys. You know what I'm saying? It's undervalued by 40, 50%. Once it's within 20 to fair value, yeah, it's not as, it's just not as, it doesn't, I mean, it works and it can go up, but it's like, I need time. I need time to get money in, I don't want to get it and it takes off running on me immediately. I need that year and a half. I know some people say they don't, but listen, when Kohl's gets back to fair value, if this is ever back to, let's say, what did they say it was, $56? Let's say that's 3 years from now. Remember, I started talking about Campbell's 4 years ago when it was 30-something bucks, and now we're where we're supposed to be. So I had a lot of time to just add ones, get free dividends, add ones, get free dividends, add ones, get free dividends, and then this goes back to $58. Now, do I want to be buying Kohl's fair priced at 58 bucks? No, I'll be taking some off and looking for the next Kohl's. And that's how I'll build it out, man. You rotate. I call that rotating money forward. It's not an exact number, man. It's just a way of looking at it. So let's look at Campbell's for just a second. My God, look at this stock running. Now, this is just a good problem to have, man. You just let it go. What you could do is fuck this up by selling all your Campbell's. And I mention this because I see so many traders do this. They'll get into a runner and you feel like, well, I have to do something because I've made this money. And it's like, sometimes the best thing for you to do is nothing. Just let it go. Like you already took your money off, let it go, man. Just let it go. And then trade this. The flow around it is this. It's running. What do money flow rules say? Take some off and then let it go. Next problem. And they never have to put any thought on it. And that's how you get 1,000%. So you get 5,000%, Let's see. That's what we're hoping for anyway. Home builders look strong. Materials. Companies that do material type shit. Looks like a stage 3 to me. Looks like it's ready to roll over. Communications. What's fucking this thing up? I guarantee you it's got Facebook in there and it's got Verizon in there. Why they lump them two together, but Facebook is in the communications, which makes sense. I text on Instagram, direct message. It is a communication platform. It does kind of make sense, but it's just weird to me to have Facebook in the ETF with Verizon. Verizon's in here. I'm pretty sure, but I'm almost positive. Somebody wants to check. I'm almost positive they got Facebook in there. And I remember that was like, what the hell? Makes that a weird, because you could have growth ripping and dividend stock standing still, and this damn thing doesn't go anywhere. XLE, downtrend, we already know that. XLF, downtrend. So we got two sectors of the S&P 500, 100% certainty in a downtrend. Financials, boom. Oil, boom. They're in a stage 4 decline. RSIs are not low. These stocks are not buys yet, man. So we're just watching them. So now, you got any banks? You're like, man, I ain't got no banks. Well, hello. This is our shot. If we miss the last run up in the banks, let them come in. Wait on these stage 1s. Start adding you a little JP Morgan, a little bit of Bank of America, or maybe XLKF. Or if you're a trader, you're like, cool, I would like to trade these to the upside, though. Let them come in. When they start setting up, start taking shots at trading them. You could trade the 2X, 3X funds. You could use options. But they're definitely only by making money right now, and those are shorts. And if you're short, let it run. It's not target time yet. Anyway, I could trim this. What else we got? We got Kellogg's in there. Let's check the price of Kellogg's. When we were buying Kellogg's, it was 40% undervalued. That was what, 2 years ago, I think, Money Flow Gang, we started buying this. What did I say? It's 10% discount. To me, that's fair value. Once you get 10%, the stock ain't going nowhere, man. And look, it's banging up. I mean, maybe it goes up a little, but it's having a hard time getting over 75. But we were buying this much lower, man. Matter of fact, let me pull that up before I lie. I post my shit, so it's easy to, let's see. I didn't get enough of it, man. I've only got a little bit. Okay. February of 21. Let's, really? You look for February of 21. Ah, look at OGP. Come on, man. Come on, man. Let's see. February. Can't buy the bottom. February 19th, text adding K to the buy and hold portfolio. Man, what a dummy. Look at the stocks coming down. Like, who would want to buy that? It just went straight down. And then look, it rips. And then what? Stops exactly where it stopped before, man. Look at that. And then if you look in here, these are weekly. So inside of here, basically, this stock went nowhere for March to February. But if you break this weekly down, what you're going to see is all these little bitty money flow runs down. You're going to see probably stage one, stage one, stage one, stage one, stage one, stage one. And then you're like, man, this stock sucks. Why are we buying Kellogg's when we could buy ApeCoin, man? Why are we doing this? You're like, get some Kellogg's, 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 Kellogg's. And then, why are people buying them now? Because people eat Kellogg's, man. So you want to buy the Coca-Colas when everyone's buying growth. You want to buy growth when everyone's buying Coca-Cola. Right? So what I've been saying, Lyft. Why? Because all the dummies sold their Lyft. Right? I want Airbnb, DoorDash, PayPal. Right? Didn't you want to do that with Netflix, fucking Facebook, Google, Twitter? Like, wasn't that the play the last recessions? Wasn't that the play? Wasn't the play following the money flow, picking up stage ones of Google the last 10 years? You know, I get angry as I talk about it because that is the play. It's such a simple play too, man. So while it sometimes seems like, man, you got a lot of stocks, how do you follow these? This is off the follow radar, man. What's to follow? It's overvalued, let it run. New money goes to things that are 40, 50% undervalued right now, like Hanes brand. Now, we don't want to don't get yourself all jacked up where you got all your money in one weird underwear stock. That's not the point. You know, you put some in here and then it's like, look, man, it basically ain't gone anywhere all month. So if you hit it hard in November, you're not necessarily having to bang every single one. You could move over and you got this other stock and then you got this other. And so if you notice every week, I tend to target certain ones and I'm going through all my stuff. I'm trying to make sense of it. What are my holdings? What are my position size? What is actually happening? And, you know, if oil gets low enough and stops, we'll be back to talking about oil stocks. And now that Starbucks is run, it's off my I don't give a fuck about Starbucks. Fuck Starbucks. I don't care about it. I told everyone to buy it. If you didn't buy it, that's on you. Campbell's, same thing. Telling you right now with Lyft. They these things, you only get so many shots at some of these things. Isn't it too late to build a portfolio, especially with a recession around the corner? Yeah, bro. It's incredibly too late. So what I'll be doing the whole recession is what I just explained on this whole live. Buying stocks in a stage one. I'll buy them all the way down and ride them all the way up. just like we did with Exxon, just like we did with Starbucks here, just like we did with Campbell's. Let's look at some others we've done that with. Oh, Lockheed Martin. When do we want to buy Lockheed Martin? When Lockheed Martin is in the dumps. So if we back up, when did we add Lockheed Martin to the Money Flow Gang portfolio? 11/4 of 21. So let's back this up to a weekly. What was going on 11/4? 11/4. January, February, March, April. Where are we at here? Fourth. Oh, yep, right there, man. I remember that when they missed earnings. Right here. They missed earnings and it came in so big. And remember, underwater for a while. Buy these stage ones, rockets. And we took some off. I can't pull up my sales on here. And we've been just holding it ever since. And we haven't spoken about it. And it's like, why haven't we talked about it? There's nothing to talk about. It pays a dividend. And now let's check the value of Lockheed Martin. What do we see? Lockheed Martin is in a range that we considered fairly undervalued. It wasn't fairly undervalued when we bought it in April over here and paid $350. What did we pay? Price paid $336 a share. Whoo! That's all right. Now we're at 400. We're up 40%, and the shares are 484. Would I want to buy any Lockheed Martin here? I mean, we're going into recession, Gerald. Yeah, if you're a wise person, you'll be super fucking aggressive in a recession. Like you should be buying up anything that's a trophy property that they'll let you have, assuming you have money. If you ain't got no money, obviously you can't do that. If you're going to participate in the recession and go broke and run up debt and spend all your savings and lose your job and be destroyed by debt, then none of this would actually apply to you. But let's say that's not the case. Let's say you've spent the last 4 or 5 years knowing me, getting out of debt, building up, building those dogs of the Dow. I mean, like how nice have all of those done? Let's look at the dogs of the Dow, which you, by the way, you want to buy during a recession. Let's see. You want to buy as many of these things as they'll give you during a recession. So remember, Amgen was one. When did we buy Amgen? Let's pull that one up. Now, how did we know to buy Amgen? It went 50% undervalued, or 40-some% undervalued. And then it hit the dogs of the Dow list. Let's see. $09.01. I don't even have to look. I know this is overvalued. $09.01. So what is that, September? Uh-oh. I was probably trying to grab that as the bottom right there. This on a weekly chart, remember. So then the patterns will look different. And then look, we went immediately underwater. That happens a lot. You ever notice that? And then what? We've had our stage one. So these are weekly, so it's hard to see the money flows in there because as you drop down to a daily, the movement of price. So here was our last chance, right? So we watch the sell-off, we wait for the bottom, and then once we have 4 days, we can call it a stage one. As long as the price is undervalued by a significant amount, then I have that on my side, right? I'm buying a valuable company that a third party has looked at and put a price tag on. It's not up to my intelligence. What do I know? I'm just a stupid white kid from a fucking trailer park in Arkansas. What do I know about valuing companies or value for that sake? All I know is what they're selling for. That's it, man. All I can do is compare it to the one next to it. People ask me, how do you know what a house costs? I don't know. What's the one next to it cost? It's that complicated. Literal hillbilly information. Whatever the one next to it's selling for, that's the price of yours. Somebody asked me the other day, what do you think that house is worth? I don't know. Put it in a realtor. So I go, and if I type 150 and nothing comes up, It's more than that. And what if that's the price you can get it for? No brainer, right? So once we understand how to value something, boom. And now if we go look, what is Amgen right now? What do you bet it's fairly valued? Did we already look at it? Let's see. Come on, man. Fairly valued. More than half my portfolio, by the way. Fairly valued. So you see how my window starts to shrink in. If I'm adding, do I want to sell this? No, man. Just because I own a fair valued house, tell me. Now you might think, yeah, but you could avoid the coming economic collapse. You could sidestep the coming recession to take that money and, well, if you got it like that, do it. I just don't meet those guys. All the guys that I meet that own a bunch of shit just accumulate stuff, man. And here's what I would say to you. I agree with you. That's why I'm short the S&P 500 while being long $700,000 in stocks. And I got a little short going. Why? Because the money, it flows, man. I'm not worried about the bottom or any recession. Recession is just, I'm just going to watch it go through my pattern here and deploy capital. So like Zim gave me what, $400 and some last night? Let's pull it up, man. Do we want to put it in Zim? Do I? Not yet. We don't have a bottom yet. I'd just wait. It looks like everything's down. It's below the 5, below the 10. MACD started to signal maybe a bottom. Maybe. You see how I'm going through? So they gave me money to allocate. Is this the best place to allocate it? I don't have to buy more with the 500. I mean, maybe this just sits here for the next 3 weeks. And as that level builds, then I kind of nibble on a little. But I take the 500. Maybe I go put it in something else. I don't know. So money comes in the portfolio, and we look to where to allocate it. I had Exxon, Conoco, Chevron, all them paying dividends going to cash. But now, if Chevron's selling off, it's fighting it. But let me show you something on this, and then I'll get out of here, man. I'm just trying to drive home a point. Look at Chevron. Let's see what they say it's worth. S&P 5 closes 100, breaking losing streak. 16% premium. Yeah. I was thinking it'd be lower. Surprised it hasn't sold off, man. Hey, good week trading, man. I got a bunch of those 10 Pillars of Success coffee cups left. And I put out there, anybody that bought a hoodie, I think it confused people. You still had to select the cup. And then when you went to check out, you put in the code. The cup is free. If you didn't select the cup, it doesn't know to give you the cup. So I think that confused some people. But don't worry, man. Don't let my confusion. They're going to take care of you. It's the Metallica style. Also, I think we're going to do one too. If you don't like hoodies or whatever, 2 regular shirts, and we'll ship it out too. We just got a bunch of those cups we need to get rid of. The Money Flow shirts are cool. Let's see. Man, I don't even know if I was live. Was I still there? MFG, I love you. Case of, let's see. We're still going? Yeah, man. You guys be good. I will talk to you later, man.